Back in the earliest human societies, people relied on the barter system. If you had grain but needed meat, you traded with someone who had livestock. Simple, but flawed. What if the guy with goats didn't want your grain? That's called the double coincidence of wants problem. To fix this, societies moved toward commodity money, things that had intrinsic value. Salt, cattle, and even shells were used as currency. In ancient Mesopotamia, silver pieces acted as a medium of exchange. In Africa, cowrie shells were so widely used they basically became the continent's dollar. Eventually, metal coins came into play. The Lydians, around 600 years before Christ, were among the first to mint coins out of electrum, a naturally occurring mix of gold and silver. Coins solved big problems, they were durable, portable, and their value could be standardized. Now you didn't need to weigh chunks of metal every time you bought bread. Fast forward to ancient China, and you get the birth of paper money. During the Tang Dynasty, merchants began issuing promissory notes to avoid hauling heavy coins. The Song Dynasty made it official with government-backed paper notes. This was revolutionary. Value could now be represented by something with almost no physical worth. Over time, paper currency spread west. By the Renaissance, banks like the Medici in Florence were issuing notes representing deposits of gold. That evolved into the gold standard centuries later. Under this system, every paper bill could be exchanged for a fixed amount of gold. It kept currencies stable but also made governments vulnerable. If too many people demanded gold at once, the system could crack. In the early 20th century, many nations abandoned the gold standard, especially during the Great Depression and after the World Wars. By the 1970s, the United States under Richard Nixon cut ties with gold completely. That moment gave birth to the modern era of fiat money, currency backed not by metal, but by trust in the government. Your dollar has value because the government says so, and because everyone else agrees to treat it as valuable. But fiat money also opened the door to inflation, debt, and central banks controlling supply. That frustration is part of what led to the rise of digital money. In the late 20th century, credit cards, PayPal, and online banking turned cash into data. Money was now just entries in a ledger, moving at the speed of the internet. Then came cryptocurrency. In 2009, Bitcoin was introduced by the mysterious Satoshi Nakamoto. Unlike fiat, it wasn't issued by a government. Instead, it relied on blockchain, a decentralized ledger maintained by computers all over the world. Crypto promised a system without banks. Today, the story continues. We've gone from trading goats for grain, to swiping plastic, to scanning QR codes for coins that exist only as code. The core idea hasn't changed. Money is whatever humans agree to use as a store of value, a medium of exchange, and a unit of account. But the form it takes keeps evolving, and the next chapter is still being written.